Alabama and LSU. They started this back in 1895. Here comes top-ranked Crimson Tide. They are 7-0 against LSU when they're the #1 team in the country. And LSU, this first home game for them in this crazy season. There's a giant, in this case, the stadium that we haven't even talked about yet. With more on that, third member of our team is Jamie Erdahl. Jamie.
In almost 10 minutes we've been on the air. We haven't said Nick Saban's name yet. Well, that must mean things are back to Alabama's head coach, who missed last week's game, the Iron Bowl. His first game missed as a coach in 40 years due to testing positive to COVID-19. He was isolated and quarantined at home for all of last week, but those 10 days did bleed into the beginning of this week in terms of game preparation for LSU. He maintained meeting protocol as best he could, but he was thrilled to return to his team. However, things are not normal for his entire coaching staff. We have learned that 4 assistant coaches with Alabama tonight. Nick Saban told me that 3 of which are on-field assistants. Play callers, though, which means the offensive, defensive, and special team play callers remain intact. Charlie Strong will have a headset on this evening for Alabama. I asked Strong how it felt to get fitted for that headset once again. He said it fits just fine.
Carl Scott, Sal Sinceri, Holman Wiggins, Roach won't be coaching tonight for Alabama. Gary and I are switched to top coach Slater. It's 47 degrees.
It's perfect, though, right? For football, it's perfect.
Not a normal scene, obviously, at Tiger Stadium with the limited crowd. Alabama leads the series 53-26-5. The last time Alabama was here, didn't go so well for the Tigers. It was a 29-0 shutout. LSU won the toss and deferred. So Avery Atkins will tee it up. And Brian Robinson is back deep for the Tide. A win tonight. Alabama will join Florida December 19th in Atlanta for the SEC Championship. And here we go. Will work from the 25-yard line. And it all starts with the guy that we talked about, Mac Jones, having a sensational season. Confidence in him. This time a year ago, he was a fill-in for Tua Tagovailoa. Now he is the man. Michael McCorkle. Mac Jones, second in the country in completion. Comes in with 23 touchdowns. Here's the guy that joins him. Landon Dickerson. Offensive and defensive line rallied around him. It was a very spirited talk he gave his guy. And he leads that great offensive line for the Tide. First down. And the throw is complete. Smith right off the bat, and he's got about 8 yards on the opening snap against the LSU. That looks like this. Tigers. Micah Baskerville's coming off a career-high 12 tackle with Jabril Cox. And there's Derek Stingley Jr. in the back end, the secondary, against this high-powered Alabama aerial attack. Second down and 2. Najee Harris. Nice spin move. First up to the 45-yard line.
So big, strong, fast. I got to come up and really take him on. Point of attack block. Whoops. A spin move. Because on that one, you know Todd Harris went right away.
Not much.
Yeah, nothing.
First down out to the 45.
Slade Bolden was in the game. Ankle problem for the slot receiver for Alabama.
Of course, took over when Jalen Waddle was injured earlier in the season. Quick slant. Devontae took a shot. Jacoby Stevens. He'll let you know he's in the vicinity.
Jacoby Stevens started 26 consecutive games. He's the leader of this defense with Grant Delpit turning pro. He's the safety that has to do the communications back there, and he communicated well.
And that coveted number 7 in the secondary for LSU that some other greats, one of his, Patrick Peterson, of course.
The previous play is under further review.
To see if it was targeting. Jacoby just a big smile, thought that he had a hit. We'll get another look at it. Well, it's close, I guess.
Wonder what Gene would think of this.
And let's see what Gene Steratore thinks of that. Gene?
I think it's a really good hit, guys. I mean, Stevens is getting in there. He doesn't lower the head in my attacking fashion and tries to get a piece of the shoulder. Now, as it relates to the head and neck area, he's below that line as well. It's a close hit, but I think it's a legal play.
Yeah, he used his arm too, didn't he, Jane? When he hit him, he brought his arms with him a bit.
I think that's where you get into that attacking posture, Gary, where, you know, are we leading with the helmet and attacking with the helmet alone, or are we trying to get that shoulder in and body? And I believe he does get that, you know, enough of that in there for me.
Number 7 can remain in the game.
And Jacoby Stevens says, yep.
Well, we don't root for anybody against anybody, but Jacoby Stevens is a fun guy to watch, and LSU needs him in that secondary.
No doubt. And he sent a message. The tears are probably still coming down. Devontae Smith.
Not from anybody.
No. So pick up a 5, second and 5. Straight up the gut. Najee Harris bounces out for maybe a 2-yard third down. Neil Farrell made the stop. Alabama 59 a year on third down situations. Quite frankly, they don't get in third down situations very often, and when they're good at it.
And lately, LSU has been great at stopping third down. 26.
They shift the tight ends, 2 of them. Forrestal goes out into a slot, and now we got a timeout take by LSU. Didn't like their alignment defensively, so we'll take the timeout with them here in the first quarter in Baton Rouge. Stream CBS Sports HQ. They're completely free on the on Sports News Network. For highlights, breaking news, and expert picks, download the CBS Sports app or connected TV to watch today.
Mess when we were talking to Bo Pelini, the defensive coordinator for LSU. I said, Bo, last 26 times you've had a third down, only he goes, well, we've got to earn the chance to try to stop them. Well, they've earned the chance.
By getting them in a third down and 3. Mac Jones trying to move the center official out of the way, and does. And they jumped offside. Landon Dickerson says with the nose, Neil Farrell, if he's right, it's a first down.
Offside with contact, defense number 92. The 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
And that is the call. So an easy one there.
Mac Jones claps, puts his hands out, just out of the peripheral vision. You know, you're down there, but you can hear it, and then you can see the quarterback, and Farrell jumps off.
So first down at the 45 of LSU.
Extra offensive lineman in the game.
And 2 tight ends in play action. Jones rifles it down the middle to Mechie. And Mechie's got it all over the 20-yard line.
Well, Waddle, one of the great players we have in college football, but Mechie has held his own spot. Maybe not the deep explosion, but he's a good receiver.
Najee Harris on first down of the leads his way to the 14, a pickup of 5. So immediately on the opening drive, they're 90% effective on the year.
There's no doubt watching defense is better, but this Alabama defense, there's no weak point. There's nowhere you can say, we're going to give this guy some room. It's just anywhere you look, they've got stars and playmakers.
Jaleel Billingsley, number 19, another tight end in motion. Inside the 10, the 5, the end zone. Touchdown, Alabama. The 18th rushing touchdown for number 2.
And as I said, sometimes we talk about the big 3, Devontae, Najee Harris, that guy number 22 right there, and Mac Jones. But that offense, put him out. get him in space, and it's tough to tackle number 22.
Will Reichard in for the point after. He's hit them all this year so far, all 52 out of a Mac Jones hold, and it's perfect. Well, quite an opening drive for Alabama. To go 75 yards in 7 plays. Najee Harris. 7-0 Alabama. Here's the touchdown.
Well, if you got to get to the second level with your back, Dickerson, Vontae Brown, but watch and let them. I'm going to go right out of the camera here because that's how far he drives Damone Clark backwards. Number 70 is 10 yards downfield, pushing number 18 Clark out. As you say, a couple missed tackles, but that's some good blocking.
Fair catch taken around the yard line by Josh Williams, and so we'll see LSU's offense for the first. And they're playing in a 7-point hole already. TJ Finley, the 4 starts this season. He's 2-2. He's had some high moments. He's had some low moments. Turns the ball over too much has been the biggest problem. And here's the offense that Gilbert, now the freshman tight end, is their #1 receiver, with Terrace Marshall having opted out earlier this week, so that's his #1 target. There he is, number 2. Block to the left side, tied. Davis Price in the backfield with Finley.
We've lost Brad and Gary up in the booth for right now. Finley hands the ball off. I know our team is working feverishly to get them back. Brad was just saying that TJ Finley was getting the start tonight. Competition, it's been going on a couple weeks with Max Johnson, but Ed Ogeron once again went with Finley. Did say that they will be using Max Johnson throughout this evening. TJ Finley opening up here in his series. The pass play to the tight end, Tariq Gilbert. Freshman to freshman connect. They've been adjusting to this offense together. For this being the first couple plays, telling a lot for this offensive play calling, for him to go back to back to back pass plays, trying to as he settles in here. Once again, we have lost audio in the booth with Brad and Gary. We are working to get second and 10 LSU as TJ Finley tries to work the Tigers down the field in their opening drive on offense. Alabama having scored on their opening drive here in the first quarter. TJ Finley once ding.
Eric Gilbert.
There you go, Brad.
Hi, Jamie.
Good to have you back.
I knew you would job. And a great job it was.
Not as smooth as you guys, but I'm happy to have you.
You can hear us, and we apologize for our technical difficulties. They always say it's crazy Saturday night. Well, there you go. And LSU on the move with complete. And it looks like it's going to be a first down to Boutte. So LSU moving it right down the field on their opening drive.
I think you're seeing the potential of TJ Finley. He can throw that football. He has protection. A&M was all over him in that football game. He was diving away from, but when he steps into the throw, he's got the big-time arm.
He looks really comfortable on this opening drive. He's carried them from their own 25 to the Alabama 4.
And no pass rush. Give credit to that offensive line that struggled so much against A&M a week ago.
Trey Bradford in the backfield with Finley on a first down. Gilbert in motion, and now we've got an LSU timeout. And second so far here in the early going. 8:51 remaining first quarter. LSU on the move, trailing Alabama by 7.
Crown with 4 passing touchdowns, and now it's Mac Jones's turn. Nescari stepping up.
I'm telling you, she was on it. She was rolling. LSU would like to keep this thing rolling at the 24-yard line. 8th play of their drive coming up. Already used 2 timeouts. And he has been on target so far. 5 out of 6 for 48 yards on this drive. Gilbert's been his #1 target to this point. He's going to go on a wheel route to his in and out of his hands. Trey Bradford had it and had it knocked out of there by Dylan Moses.
Playing a great read by Dylan Moses. This is a nice scheme to get a running back open. A wheel route. Look from up here like he had it, but Dylan Moses and breaks it up just
a hair earlier, and that would have been a completion.
You got it. Well, quarterback, you think I got a guy wide open, I can't miss him, and then just a hair.
Blitz coming. And a nice run by Davis Price. He's down by about a yard. Jordan Battle brought him down, but it's going to be 3rd and 1.
She loves to go hurry up on 3rd and 4th short yardage.
Here they go. And outside, and I think he got just enough. Second effort. Now the head linesman comes in, and he does not have it spotted as a first down.
So if you're Ed Ogeron here, making it to Alabama move the ball, I don't go field goal. I try to make this. You need touchdowns. You can't go field goal here.
It's 4th down, and they are under center. Alabama, did they take a timeout? By Davis Price, whether or not he reached the first down marker. And stands is that he's just a little bit short because the knee
scraped right there as he was reaching the ball out.
So it's 4th down and inches. Eight out of 11 on the year for LSU, and as Gary said, you're 3 and 4, and you're playing the #1 team in the country.
And the offense that Alabama has shown prior to this game, I think you're saying we've got to get 7 points on this drive.
Been a long. They've produced a touchdown at home against Alabama. I mentioned 2 years ago it was 29-0. So here they're trying to get it to the basically 14-yard line. And they didn't.
Nothing.
Wow. What a Christian Harris was the first guy there. And that'll make a head coach, a defensive-minded head coach, a happy man.
So you can see that TJ Finley comes up and declares to the Alabama team that I might run the Alabama moves in tight, but point of attack, as you said, Christian Harris, the ball carrier to the spot, comes right off the edge, unblocked, and makes.
So Alabama takes over on downs. They've only given up 33 points in the last 18 quarters, and they didn't give up any there. So mark that one down, a missed opportunity on 4th and short.
See, they looked at it, they looked to the bench, they probably had the option of running the sneak or the running back. They decided to go the running back off tackle, didn't work.
Play fake, Mac Jones firing, got it to Billingsley, and he's all the way out across the 40. He's Big part now, all of a sudden, of this Alabama offense.
You know, it kind of reminds me, Billingsley does, of when Alabama a couple years ago had Irv Smith at that tight end spot. Playing with the Vikings right now. The field, goes back, looks like he's going to go across, but then weaves back out, and a perfect throw. Receiver catches it in stride.
Up of 27 to the 42. Here's a toss sweep. Najee Harris with blockers and one tackle. Now he turns on the speed, and he's all the way to the 31-yard line before he flies to the LSU bench.
And it's going to be 15 more, or half the distance to the goal, either way you want to look at it.
Bobby, is that John Robinson down on the sideline?
Oh, yeah, right at their collision.
Former USC and Rams coach. It just looked like him. I shouldn't have speculated that quick. John Forever, it just looked like him. As they're helping him up. Coach Robinson.
Yeah, good eye.
Well, he's too old to be taking hits like that.
Play, personal foul, late hit, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So Coach Robinson is up, got his lid back on.
Put that ball cap back on. Let's.
There's the end of the play. Najee Harris shoved out of bounds, and down goes John.
Yep.
Head first, too. There's the late hit by Jacoby Stevens, who's letting everybody know he's in the vicinity tonight, including Devontae Smith and now Najee Harris. At the 15, a little toss. Devontae Smith with Mechie blocking down the sideline. He's got it down inside.
Pretty is this play designed by Steve Sarkisian, an elite game planner, and do a little bit of that orbit motion. Go behind the quarterback, then you toss it to Star, and this time those receivers, and the Alabama receivers are great at this, those receivers out, and they were blocking on that play.
No doubt about that. There's Steve Sarkisian, who was head coach a week ago when Nick was out with the COVID positive. Go. Now it's at the 3-yard line. First and goal. Looking for their second touchdown. Alabama. Najee Harris looking for his second. And not quite. Got close. Ramon Clark brought him down.
And this LSU defense forces Najee to bounce out. Can't use all his parking. And Clark is able to wrap him up and save a touchdown for now.
From our AT&T 5G on cam, Najee's coming right at you, but so is Clark. You saw he tried to twist his arm into the pylon. Alabama with their jumbo set in there now on second down and goal inside the 1. Najee Harris. Big pile up at the goal. No signal yet.
LSU holding up the football.
And we got a man down as well. Jacoby and Gilroy. Meanwhile, it's going to be third and goal, about the length of the football.
This time, point of attack. Defense, no push that time.
The ball out at the very end, and we'll be right back. Get the call from the official. On the field, it was ruled a fumble, recovered by the defense for a touchback.
Yeah, we said they holding the ball up, but did he cross the goal line before the fumble?
Gene Steratore is with us. You see the big pileup with Farrell and everybody else trying to grab for the ball.
You know, the other thing that's pretty good here is that Najee Harris has those white gloves on, and to me, after his second effort, I think you can clearly see both hands around that football, and it appears to me that it's breaking the goal line. We know as soon as that happens, this play is over and it's dead. In my opinion, right now, I have him as a touchdown with possession. We watch this replay here. To me, he's still firmly controlling that, and we've broken the plane of the goal line right there.
I'm with you, Gene.
Yeah, I thought the one before it, too, from the backside, you could see the ball clearly touch the line. Yeah, right here, this is the look. He's got the ball in his hand.
He's already
Gene's
broken the plane at that point.
I know that everybody, when you stick that ball out, everybody whacks it, but this time just a little too late for LSU, and Alabama completes another drive. Machine-like drive by Alabama.
Ray Thornton and Neil Farrell, the guys trying to rip it out of there. And again, our replay official is Mitchell Wilkins. Alex Moore, our referee, is under the hood. Nick Saban thinks it's a touchdown. And that would reverse the call, which on the field was fumble recovery in the end zone by LSU. So this would be a big swing. LSU getting the ball back compared to another Alabama touchdown.
Well, if you combine that with the 4th and short that LSU did not make on the other side when they tried to get this touchdown, and now Alabama right down the field in what, 5 plays for 84 yards.
So Ed Arjuan patiently waiting as well, as this one's taken a while. It's an important call, obviously, at the goal line and in the end zone. Najee Harris saying, I reached over. Talking to Butch Jones, former Tennessee
The other guy
head
looks
coach.
familiar.
Here's
That's
call.
Butch Jones.
After review, the runner stretched the ball across the goal line with possession, resulting in the touchdown.
So Najee Harris did what we thought, what Gene thought, and what Najee thought. Reached it across the goal line for the touchdown.
Well, Najee's about as cool as you can be. When he starts to worry a little bit, you wonder. I think across, but you never know if the replay official sees it. And Gene saw it, you saw it, but it was for a second. LSU said we got the ball, but to no avail.
So 64 yards and 2 touchdowns already for Najee Harris. And the extra point upcoming. Packard comes up and has a word with Mac Jones, starting quarterback, and his holder. Up and good. So Najee Harris had a 27-yard run. Billingsley had a 27-yard reception in that drive. And now we got a flag down on the extra points.
Did they run into the kicker after it? Yes, running into the kicker. They're asking Coach Saban if he'd like to half the distance to go for 2 or take the point.
Running into the kicker, defense. That penalty's declined. The try is good.
So Najee Harris having a good first quarter here. He scored earlier from 14 yards out. This one went for 27. Then they tacked on 15 for that hit. And on the 5th play, Najee says, I got this one for the 2nd time tonight. Touchdown Alabama, 14-0.
Smooth driving pays off. With Allstate, the safer you drive, the more you save. You've never been in better hands. Allstate. Click or call for a quote today.
So LSU now, after the fair catch on the kick, takes over at the 25. Last time they got the ball, they had a good-looking drive going, came up with a 4th and inches, and then turned it over on downs after going 60 yards in 11 days. They'd like to put one together here because now they're down 2 scores.
And the question is, will just the passing game be enough for LSU? TJ Finley showed his arm, but I think they need to help them with a bit more running game. And their 4 losses, none of them did they rush for 100 yards.
Right now, John Emery's in at tailback, and he'll get the carry. And Emery, tough 3 yards before Dylan Moses brings him down.
Against Mississippi State, they rushed for 80, Missouri for 49, Auburn for 32 yards, and Texas A&M for 36. Now, there's some sack yardage in there, but not a lot. They just have not had a running game to help these young quarterbacks.
Finley, quick slant behind his receiver, a little bit incomplete. Intended for Coy Moore.
And that has been the problem with LSU. When you watch the A&M game, the A&M defense continued to blitz this LSU offense. The hot reads were not smooth. The young quarterback, the young receivers. You know, it's not like it was a year ago when they had those guys who were a machine against the blitz. Here's that look, that six-man front that A&M showed. Bama's going to say, hey, can you stop it? Because you didn't stop it last week.
Finley takes a moment on 3rd down and 8. Takes the handoff. He's in trouble immediately. Trying to get away and can't. They'll bring him down at the 25. Daniel Wright, one of the first guys there. And then Will Anderson.
Well, Ness, this is not easy for a veteran quarterback, but the fake blitz is coming from one side, and the real blitz comes from the other side. Daniel Wright is coming from one side. John Battle is faking the other side, and there's guys that play 2 or 3 years in the league have trouble with that. Now, Joe Burrow handled it, but Joe Burrow was a veteran and a big-time veteran at quarterback.
Monte Smith just gets everybody out of the way. As the kick goes out of the bounds.
I don't think this made the 50 even.
No, it didn't.
So.
47 or 48. Got a Papa John's update in New York. Here's Zook.
Hey, Ness, you may have heard the ACC did some schedule reshuffling recently, and Miami visiting Duke was one of those moves. Huge haul for Cameron Davis. He goes 34 yards. Miami on top of Duke 14-0 as they play in the second quarter. Right back to you.
Hurricanes only 1 loss on the season. Here, Alabama, no losses, and ranked number 1. And they look like it again so far. It was only a 22-yard punt. And now Forrestal in motion, but Landon Dickerson saying, no, it was Jacqueline Roy. Let's see if he's right.
Offside with contact, defense number 99. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
I love Landon Dickerson. He's in the middle of that offensive line.
He is a character, and he's a physical character, too.
And he's feisty. And
Yes,
look at that.
he
Look at
is.
this. He's got his own little dance moves.
That's the second time in this game he did it. And you know what? It's just not all effect. When he gets a chance to lay you out, he lays you out.
So 1st and 5. LSU almost jumped again. Devontae Smith in motion. Mac Jones rolls with a throwback screen. And that's played well by Jacoby Stevens.
Jacoby Stevens had a couple hits, 1 penalty, but smartly snuffed this one out. Motion again. People going different ways. Play action pass. Try to get the screen to Najee. Nope. We're watching number 22. That's a good idea.
So 2nd down and 10. Forrestal, the tight end in motion, sets in the backfield for Alabama. Najee Harris weaving his way through, close to another first down, about a yard shy.
Well, as I said, those guys up front, they believe they're the best offensive line in college football. It'd be hard to argue. They're veterans. They've got a package. They believe it, and they've got a lot of weapons.
This time LSU equal to the task. Jacoby Stevens again leading the charge on Najee Harris. That'll bring up 3rd down and 1. And Logan also in there from his tackle spot.
I think it brings up 4th down.
4th down, beg your pardon. Most first quarter points against LSU. And the Nick Saban era, 4th down and a yard, going for more. They don't go on 4th down very often. This is almost 2 yards. Billingsley in motion. The throw is out to Billingsley for an easy first down. And Eric Stingley has to bring him down, but he's going to move the chains again.
Look at the control that Billingsley handles a ball that's slightly behind him. Keeps his eye on it. Wasn't a perfect throw, but in this one you want to secure the catch. Don't turn up so early. Catches it off his back hip and then gets the first down.
Mac Jones perfect so far.
This season or this game?
Just this game, but he's close to perfect on the season. He wants more right here.
Got it.
Gonna go long, got a wide open touchdown to Billingsley. That was too easy.
Yeah, Devontae Smith goes from left to right, and Billingsley goes from right to left. They all cover number 6. Watch this one goes across. Was it Mechie? Yes, it was Mechie. Excuse me, number 8. Watch Mechie go one way, and then Billingsley comes the other way. 3 go with Mechie. No one goes with Billingsley.
And as a quarterback, you got to be thinking, this guy's so wide open, just don't mess this up.
Before he caught it, I go, then he got it.
And the extra point is good. So another good-looking drive by Alabama. They didn't have to go far after the short punt. 47 yards in 5 plays. Mac Jones throws his 24th touchdown pass of the season. It's all tied right now in Death Valley. Back in Baton Rouge, 21-0, top-ranked Alabama, and we still got 2:27 remaining in the first quarter.
Well, we said in the open that LSU wanted to believe but needed something good to happen. Bama said, we want to squash them fast. And they're squashing them fast.
And mishandled kick, and now they'll have to return it. Did simply call fair catch Boutte, or did his knee go down? Either rate, not good for LSU.
And the ball will be placed there. If he fair catches it, it'll go to the 25 if he would have caught it.
No, they didn't see it the first time.
It wasn't very long. One time, half
Receiver
away.
gave a
But
fair
once
catch
you drop
signal,
it, that's where the ball
and
stays.
then possessed it. By roll, the ball is dead where he possessed it. First down.
It's another mistake this LSU team has made. They seem little. 3rd and 4th down, they
add
don't
up,
make
though.
it. You know, they add up. Yes, little, and then a big mistake on the long touchdown pass. Shake punt. Man, they've done a lot of little things that are really adding up.
And you just can't do that against a team this good.
Well, not even a team this good. They're 3 and 4 because they're making mistakes, but it gets really bad against a team this good, like 21 points.
So now the LSU offense backed up near their own goal line. Davis Price with Finley right at the goal line on a first down from the 5. Finley throws complete, and it's going to be close to a first down to Kirkland.
Well, you can't help but watch T.J. Finley throw the ball and see the potential of why he got a lot of scholarships. I mean, you got a big-time arm, has to grow into his body a bit. He's a big kid. Still, you know, he had to lose weight. Now he's got to get used to that weight, get a little bit more mobile in the pocket, but you see his potential.
Second down, less than 1. And they pick it up. As we get another update in Adam Zucker.
All right, Ness, it just ended a meeting of 9-0 darlings that they put together midweek. BYU down 5 as time expires. Zach Wilson to Dax Milne, and the Coastal Carolina defense meets him just shy of the goal line. Shades of Rams, Titans. The Shants are 10-0.
Wow, what a win.
The Teal comes up big. Finley, pressure coming from behind, going long, into double coverage, incomplete. Patrick Surtain had the coverage on Jatre Kirkland.
I thought he got a piece of him as that ball was going and being catchable. Like, take another look at that one.
Well, the crowd agrees with you, Gary.
What crowd? Well, there's a few here.
There's quite a few.
Yes. Nice design route. You got a crossing receiver holding the safety. Got a receiver open. Surtain comes across.
Yeah.
He hit him, but was it catchable?
Definitely got an arm wrapped around him.
I don't know.
We'll never know if it's catchable.
I'm surprised he got away with that one, to tell you the truth.
2nd and 10, just over a minute to go in the quarter. Davis Price trying to get to the edge and can't. Christian Harris got him after a very short game.
I was talking to Pete Golding before the game about a football team. He said Christian Harris might be our best athlete on defense. Played corner in high school. Had to play a year ago as a true freshman. Look at Pete, defensive coordinator. He said Christian is a spectacular athlete, runs with everyone he needs to cover.
You know Christian is licking his chops in this game because he's a Baton Rouge native playing in his hometown. Harris a double clutch, got the pass complete. Tough tackle there on Boutte. He's going to be really close to the first down. And a flag.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 8. 15-yard penalty added to the run, first down.
Well, I guess Christian was a little too excited playing at home.
We built you up there. He had a free rush. I'll tell you, it's the same look. LSU showed that they were vulnerable to these 6-man fronts, rushing 3 or 4 different guys each time, and that's 2.5 step. That's a clear roughing the passer.
So that puts the ball out to the 42-yard line. Finley, quick crossing route intended for Davis Price, in and out of his hands. Dylan Moses was right there with him.
I think as TJ grows up, he's going to understand I threw that one a little too hard. That had a little bit too much mustard on it.
Especially for something that was only about 7 yards away from him.
I had a coach young in my NFL career there said when those guys are coming across like that, throw them an egg, not a rock. Something easy to catch.
Well, that time he threw another pretty good rock.
Yep, he can throw a rock to the outside. Those are catchable.
Freshman to freshman, Boutte on the receiving end. Might be one more play before the end of the quarter, and it'll be a first down quarterback sneak for TJ Finley. So LSU's got a lot of work to do, but they're picking away a little bit as they did on their opening drive. End of the first quarter, Alabama 21, LSU nothing. We'll return to Baton Rouge after this message. SEC on CBS heads into quarter number 2 here in Baton Rouge, and the hometown Tigers trailing top-ranked Alabama 21-0. They do have a first down to open up the quarter at the Alabama 44-yard line. Davis Price with Finley in the LSU backfield. Finley to throw, rifles it down the middle. On his way is Kayshon Boutte, touchdown. That's the way you start the second quarter.
And the key word was rifle, and Boutte was wide open and delivered perfectly on this play. Bottom of the screen right here. Right down the slot, safety's coming up on the play, and before the opposite safety battle can get there, the ball is there, but did he drop the ball too soon?
Oh no, that would be the ultimate problem.
They're going to take a look at this, I think. Are they? Did the ball go out too? I think it did, Ness.
Oh my goodness. He did the Julio Jones lean into the tape as a trackster, and he left the ball behind him.
I remember Tyrann Mathieu doing that in the SEC championship game, too.
No.
Is it going to be replayed?
Apparently not. Extra point is up and good. They've ruled it a touchdown on the field. Gene Steratore is with us. We'll get another look from Pilot Cam right here. Gene, you take over.
You know, Brad, I know we've all said this and seen this happen before, and unfortunately in this situation, this ball is clearly out of the runner's possession before it breaks the goal line. That would not be a touchdown if they would have reviewed it.
Isn't this a replay official mistake, though, Gene? I mean, it's close either way.
Yeah, yes, Gary, it would be, you want replay to initiate a review on this, and they would have to buzz down. We can see the back judge at the top of the screen from our pylon cam straddling the goal line.
Right.
This happens in such a blur for him that I'm sure he had some apprehension there. But this ball looks clearly out, guys.
Our producer Craig Silver is telling us from the truck it was reviewed. It was reviewed that quickly. Extra point was kicked. It's a 44-yard touchdown. And strange things continue to happen in Death Valley on a Saturday night. 21-7. We give you a different pylon cam look. And okay, this is a different angle. Ball right into your stomach, and it hits the pylon, and that's about all we can say about it.
Remember, that camera is on the goal line, and the ball is flying toward it on the play.
Well, if that wouldn't have been a touchdown, Keyshawn's Boutte would have gotten kicked by the LSU coaches on the sideline.
Well, it was such a perfect play, but you got to finish the play.
Yeah. So Alabama back to work with a 2-touchdown lead.
So who read the worst play on that one? The replay official or Boutte?
Hey, we all got problems. Brian Robinson. And he's going to go for about 6. Jabril Cox in on the stop for the Tigers. What a player he is.
Yeah, if you turn on the tape, he covered Jaden Wiedemeyer, the tight end for A&M, all over the field. And if an NFL team would turn on that tape, they'll see a future star in the NFL.
2 tight end set for Alabama. On the give is Robinson. Robinson goes out for what looks like a first down. Jamie's got more on Jabril Cox.
Yeah, he's a grad transfer from North Dakota State University. He made a decision to either turn pro last spring or to enter the transfer portal, and he was contacted by LSU coaches, one of which was Bo Pelini, who coached against him when he was at Youngstown State, and Cox was at NDSU. He knew the program he was coming from and knew that he was the kind of defensive leader Pelini needed in this defense.
Well, he only went 45-1 for North Dakota State as they won 3 championships when he was there. Mac Jones deep. Devontae Smith is gone. Touchdown, Alabama. How many times have we said that this year? A lot.
Again, the receivers for Alabama, it's something that's Sarkisian MO. They like to take their receivers and switch their routes. Watch how the inside guy goes outside and the outside guy comes inside, and it's a bust by LSU. We've seen it before. It's worked before against other teams, just like that. One guy on the slot, Devontae Smith, goes to the outside, and it seems to confuse the defensive backs.
Well, number 6 has confused a lot of defensive backs this year. And Reichert in for the point after. 9th touchdown in the last 4 games for that guy.
And he didn't confuse Mac Jones. He knew he'd be open, and he's 9 for 9 for 170 yards already.
And 2 touchdowns. And for this guy, his 13th touchdown of the year from 65 yards out. Only took Alabama 3 plays and 1 minute 17 seconds to add on another touchdown as they lead 28-7 with 13:36 to go in the first half. Chase Allen to kick off for the Tide. And taking it at the 5 is Boutte, who caught what we thought was a touchdown pass and then didn't think it was a touchdown pass. And we're going to take you back to that play. And Gene Steratore is with us at the end of this play.
You know what, guys, after taking looks at other angles, after we see the ball is clearly fumbled, what we failed to see in a few replays was Jontre Kirkland, number 13, right there, picking the football up in the end zone as it lay there. And that was in the immediate recovery after. So that is why the office of the SEC confirmed that so quickly, and we give them credit for that confirmation for sure.
Right.
Would that be immediate, though, Gene, in your opinion? Was that immediate? Because it seemed to lay there for a while.
Yes, Gary. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I would think that that would be enough for immediate. Yes, sir.
So is it going to go as a 43-yard completion and a 1-yard touchdown for Kirkland? How do they rule that one?
Well, Kirkland gets the touchdown. There's no doubt about that.
That's probably how it's going to go in the official books. Straighten all that stuff out at halftime. Anyway, heads up by Kirkland. And you're down to a bunch of receivers that basically didn't even play in this game last year. Keep your head in the game. Finley scans the field, rifles it down the middle, and Surtain is all wrapped up with Jenkins. Incomplete, and Jenkins still down.
I think it was the hit from Daniel Wright, though, that has Jenkins down. Coming from the safety spot. Watch number 3 cross helmet to helmet on Jenkins right there. It is.
It's Daniel Wright that made the hit. I don't know that it was helmet to helmet, but
personal
it hit.
Foul, targeting, defense number 3.
Okay, it was.
The previous play is under further review.
I thought he got him in the helmet there, Ness, as he came down. Receiver goes down. Helmet, shoulder, close, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was his shoulder, but he did get him in the helmet.
Yep. Neck and head injury to a defenseless player. It's close.
First, you're right, Jenkins, motionless on the field for a while, is up and into the tent, so that is great news in of itself. And Daniel Wright has been ejected as the targeting was upheld while we were in that timeout to check on Jenkins.
Yeah, you're right. During that timeout, they had 3, 4, 5, 6 people around him, got him up, and that was dangerous. That's why that rule's in there, just for that hit right there.
It was a big sigh of relief up here with all of us, with everybody that's in the stadium. And number 3's night is done. He can stay on the sideline.
New rule this year.
Yep. So with the penalty, that moves it to the 46-yard line. DJ Finley, a stunt by the Alabama front. He got the pass away, but it's incomplete. That one intended for Kirkland. And Josh Jobe was there defensively.
You can see what happens. Alabama now trying to do all the different moves up front to throw this pass blocking off, and that time frees up a defender. Get in there, Borchi does a good job. TJ's good to get that pass off on that situation. He did that numerous times against A&M, and then he had the one fatal one at the end of the game.
John Emery off the left side, and a nice run by Emery. A blocker in front. John Emery going to take it to the house. Best run of maybe the year for LSU offensively.
And exactly what they needed to stay in this football game. Not only that's number 1, blocked very well up front. Rosenthal, number 51 on the edge, does his job. And then downfield, Boutte does a great job of blocking and keeping the lane open to get to the end zone.
By far the longest run of the year for John Emery. Extra point is up and good. Both teams quick striking offenses, and that's something LSU has been looking for. Something to celebrate about a little bit on that sideline. 69-yard drive. Emery does the touchdown to cut the... And Her Rules, CBS original series. All Rise. New episode Monday at 9, 8 Central on CBS.
So the LSU offense has stepped up and holding their own. It's the defense that needs to stop. 4 possessions, 4 touchdowns.
Alabama's 5th possession will start from the 25-yard line.
And this time Ed Ingram along with number 51. Watch Ingram get the block on Harris. Reaches out one side, helps, gets to Harris to second level, gets him once, and then gets him again to clean him up for the touchdown run. Great job by number 70 Ingram.
Got to feel good for John Emery, too, because they've been struggling on the ground. Ty Davis-Price, for the most part, has been their starter. Emery, around 200 yards rushing a season ago. At the 14 points allowed tonight here in the first half. Alabama, as I mentioned earlier, hadn't given up many points in the last 18 quarters. Here's Najee Harris, who's got 2 scores tonight. A little hesitation move, got about 6 out to the 31, where Eli Ricks brought him down.
So can this LSU defense give the ball back in a 14-point game? We had the weird touchdown there in the end zone on the ball being dropped. LSU recovers it, then they get the great run, stay in the game, but they need to stop to really believe.
Robinson and Harris both in the backfield. Now Robinson clears out. Jones looked at him and now throws back the other way. What a catch by Najee Harris. And he's still going, and he got a first down. You got to be kidding me.
Yeah, it was designed the whole way, throwback screen the whole way, but he had to find Najee. There was a lot of traffic for number 22 to kind of maneuver his way through. Fake, roll out to the right, trying to get it to him, Finally, I see him, and as you say, snaps it off and then breaks a couple tackles for the first down.
Najee Harris just pinned that in his left forearm.
Yes.
And he's got some pretty good sized forearms, and he's got a first down. There's the first 10 pass attempts for Mac Jones, including 2 more touchdowns. Plenty of time here. Deep for Devontae Smith, in stride again, and goodbye again. Devontae Smith touchdown.
My.
You run out of things to say about that combination.
Well, it's the play they've been running all year again. They fake the block, does Devontae, and then he wheels down the sideline. Fake the block and go to the outside. Looks like it's going to be a wide receiver screen. Nope. And he beats number 25 flat again. Why isn't it on Stingley? Why is Stingley not inside playing against the Devontae? We had heard that it was going to be 24 in coverage, but they have been able to get Devontae Smith wherever they want.
Well, there's Derek Stingley. It's part of the reason he wasn't on the end of that play. But yeah, Bo Pelini told us we'll try to match 24 with 6 as much as we can. And now it's Derek Stingley, the All-American as a freshman a year ago, who's on the turf for LSU.
Yeah, but back-to-back plays, they had flat on Devontae Smith, and he's burned them for 2 touchdowns. That ankle that was bothering Stingley earlier in the year, maybe he hurt it again. No problem at the beginning. He's got Mechie to the outside, but right at the end of this, right at the end, watch him run into, I think he actually runs into Jacoby Stevens, number 7, his own player, and that's where he turns the ankle.
Extra points as Derek Stingley goes. Good. 5 possessions for Alabama, 5 touchdowns. A 65 and a 61-yard scoring toss to Devontae Smith from Mac Jones. Drives for Alabama. 3 plays 75 yards in a minute 18. 3 plays 75 yards in a minute 17. 65-yard touchdown to Devontae Smith and a 61-yard touchdown to Devontae Smith.
Well, all year, you know, if you look at Alabama for the whole season, when they get the ball, if you say how many yards do they possibly can gain, like they get the ball on the 50, they can possibly gain 50 yards. They've been gaining 70% of the total yards possible all year. Tonight, 100% so far.
Tomorrow, it's an NFL on CBS doubleheader. Early action, full of playoff implications. Browns take on the Titans. That's followed by the Eagles taking on Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Jim, Tony, and Tracy will have that one. It all starts at noon Eastern. JB and the guys on the NFL Today. Tomorrow, NFL on CBS.
Well, nothing but to do if you're LSU and you're on offense. We got to score again.
Yep. Better score every time you have it if you can, because Alabama is.
Yep.
And that guy has been unbelievable this year.
We said there's a lot of bigs, the big defensive line, the big offensive line, the corners, but the big 3 tonight is showing up, aren't they?
Yep.
Smith, Harris, and Jones.
Sounds like a law firm or an old Western. John Emery, who had a touchdown the last time he touched it, just rumbles out to the 45-yard line.
And again, when I said that this LSU team, it was loosened up. Attack, but could they run the ball a little bit? Good block that time by Gil to get that block and gash the Alabama defense.
The best game John Emery's had in a long time. 76 yards and a touchdown. And a first down at the 45-yard line. Kirkland in motion. Backpedaling is Finley. Gonna have to get rid of it, and finally does. Byron Young was giving chase.
Just the end of that play. Our truck has been able to blow that play up. Watch right in the middle of the screen. It's going to get bigger for you. Stingley does run into Jacoby Stevens.
Got kind of leg whipped by his own guy as we check in with Jamie.
Yeah, Stingley Jr. was in the tent for quite some time. I'll say the equipment manager for LSU went in there to assist him. He is out of the tent now and on the bike, but he does look really in pain still on the bike.
He's moving that bike about as fast as I do right now. At the 10.5-minute mark.
Curious, though, that he's not matching up against Smith on the inside. Aren't you? It's costing him.
He might be done matching up with him all night. Who knows? Here's a throw, and a good one to
Torrey Carter not played the last 2 games. He's their best blocking H-back. Gilbert and Carter, they're basically playing 2 tight ends in the game the whole time. And this time he catches that Alabama defense, finds the seam, and Helms gets there late.
Nice gain to the 4. Play action. Finley off his back foot, fires, and it's knocked down by Surtain, intended for Boutte.
Well, TJ Finley's had a lot of this. Rushers in his face. It's dangerous throwing that, but you lay it up for your receiver, 50-50 ball, and Surtain keeps his hand in there the whole way, never panics.
2nd down at 10 at the Bama 40. Emery hit and dropped for a loss this time. Christian Harris, who had a personal foul earlier on a roughing the passer, and he just came up with a tackle for loss of about 4.
And he hit that so quick. He saw the action, and that's where his athletic ability just got into that backfield and made that play. Let's look now how Alabama tries to rush on this 3rd and long. They'll show a 6-man front and give that LSU defense 4 down linemen. The 2 linebackers look like they're going to play real safe this time and drop into zone.
LSU has been able to avoid 3rd down and thus far, but this is a big one. 3rd and 14. Pressure coming up the middle. The ball is out. Finley trying to get back on top of it, and does, but it's going to be 4th down as he had it stripped out of there by Christian Barmore.
It was number 58 coming in, probably Alabama's best inside pass rush. Just able to reach around and get his right hand on the football when TJ Finley. See how he's waving it, though? That's what they're trying to get him to understand. That football, when you move up in the pocket, keep both hands on the football. He had that fumble earlier for a touchdown this year against Auburn. Play similar to that.
Mac Vandenberg's last punt was not a good one. This one much better. Camps Devontae Smith under a 10-yard line. And now we're going to do Project Smarter, presented by the Home.
What they like to do for Alabama is they like to bring those receivers across the field. And one time when you run one receiver that is a threat, and then you bring the tight end the other way, it crosses them up. This time on the deep route, they cross the receivers and cross the secondary up, and then one more time on the quick screen fake, you cross those receivers. 3 touchdowns on 3 interchange routes by the Alabama receivers.
Little hesitation for Najee Harris in the backfield, and then goes out for 4 or 5. This game a year ago is when probably Joe Burrow locked up the Heisman Trophy in this game. You know that Kyle Trask had a good game in front of us. Mac Jones this year so far, 11 for 11, 243 yards and 3 touchdowns. And all their drives have resulted in touchdowns. Najee Harris has the other 2. Jones throws on a crosser. It's Mechie, and Mechie's going to be close to a 1st down. By the way, Joe Burrow underwent surgery this week, and Joe, we want to wish you the best in your rehab. I was in touch with his dad, Jimmy, this morning, and Joe's doing okay. He's already getting ready to start working out.
I had that knee surgery is not fun, but Joe will fight through it, no doubt.
Joe was having a sensational season for the Bengals before he was heard a few weeks ago. Here's a call.
Holding, offense number 70. The penalty's half the distance to the goal. Replay second down.
And we're talking about the season Joe had last year and taking this team to an undefeated season, a national championship, and a Heisman Trophy. And how about the comparison for these two dudes? Pretty close.
Well, both of them had a lot of weapons. I mean, the 3 NFL receivers they had with Jefferson, Jamar Chase, and Marshall. Remember, Alabama had the big 3 last year, and they still got a big one right now in Devontae. 2 good running backs they had.
Here's Jones from his own end zone. He's still perfect. And by the way, you can add 3 more touchdowns to those numbers we just showed you. That was coming into the game.
But you know what else they both had? Protection.
Yeah.
And watch this Alabama offensive line protect their quarterback. No one within 4 yards of him as he steps into the throw.
So it's 12 for 12 for 255 and 3 right now for Mac Jones. As there you look at the big eaters up front that protect him and have done a beautiful job of it again tonight. This time trying to open a hole for Najee Harris, and that was closed pretty well by Jacqueline Roy. Short game.
The toughest thing against Alabama with this veteran big offensive line is getting a tackle for a loss. And it seems that, to me, that's what LSU needs, to get them behind the chains a little bit. Get a tackle for a loss or a sack, but it's not easy. They're just good at what they do. Good to see Stingley back in the game.
Not sure if he's 100%, kind of limping out there, but nonetheless, he's giving it a go. Career high for Mac Jones, perfect on 12 throws. Looking for number 13 right here. And in and out of the hands of Mechie, incomplete. As Eli Ricks broke that one up, so that stops the perfect for Mac Jones, but he hit his receiver right on the hands. Just good defensive play.
When we were at the Mississippi State game, Eli Ricks was playing his first game as a true freshman. He's gotten better. This whole secondary has gotten better, but tonight they've met their match. It's one thing covering receivers at A&M. You know, they've lost a lot of receivers, and they were able to pretty much control for A&M. Not tonight. Not tonight at all.
We'll get flags all over the place again on 3rd down. Let's see which side's the guilty party this time.
Offside, defense number 43. Jumping into the neutral zone, causing a reaction. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Still 3rd down and about 5. You saw that graphic come up that Alabama's 0 for 1 on 3rd down conversions. Well, that's because they haven't gotten a 3rd down except once.
35 points and only 1 attempt on 3rd down.
That's crazy. Now they got a 3rd and 5. If LSU can hold off and not jump offside, they can at least try to make Mac Jones and Alabama earn this one. Jones back to the completion now to Devontae Smith. Smith in the open field trying to outrun everybody. Stingley giving chase. They'll bring him down, but not before the 25-yard line.
Remember a year ago when they had Henry Ruggs and Jalen Waddle? They said Devontae Smith matched up this time against Stingley. He's the route runner. He's the slower of the guys.
Come on.
Watch him run away from everybody right here. There's a guy that came back. Everybody thought, even me included, thought he might just opt for the NFL last year. He has helped himself coming back this year.
Another 200-yard gain. That's his 4th of his career. And we're not even at halftime. Najee Harris, the toss sweep, and Najee's got it down inside the 20. Jabril Cox made the tackle. We're under 6 minutes and a half.
Well, against Ole Miss, Alabama put 700 yards against that defense. Only one possession they didn't score a touchdown. They're off to a better start here tonight.
And Najee down on one knee at the end of the play. He was grimacing a little bit as he hit the turf, and I think he just got the wind knocked out of him, but we'll wait and see. He got up and then took a knee as he picked up 7 on this carry. And he took a shot in the lower extremities, let's put it that way. $85 yards on 12 carries, including touchdowns number 18 and 19 on the ground this year. on his way up. A little more than the wind knocked out, if you've ever had that happen to you. Try to bounce around. Now we head to the sideline. And Brian Robinson will probably come in to take it.
He doesn't want out of the
game.
No,
he's got to come out for a play. Najee, you've been on a knee over there for 2 minutes. You got to come out.
So the two penalties. Remember the early drive on third down, LSU jumps off and gives them a first down.
Yeah.
And then third and long, they jump off to make it third and medium and picked up by the easy throw by Mac.
It became a 49-yard gain, and here is Brian Robinson. Cuts up, and he's got the first at the 15-yard line. Quarterback comparison so far. You got a freshman on one side, you got a veteran on the other side who's only missed one throw, and that was in the hands of his receiver before it was popped out by the LSU defense.
And TJ Finley's had a good game.
Yeah.
You got to have some defense. I said, to play with Alabama, you score, but you got to have a couple stops to help your offense.
Yeah, get off the field once in a while. Slade Bolden in motion. It's Najee Harris back in there after one of his patented hurdles as he gets down around the 11-yard line.
Landon Dickerson being strong at the point, the center for Alabama. He also pulls. Watch him get out on this one around. He and Deontay Brown, number 6, Dickerson, get out on that corner. Your center's able to do that. Point attack and still get around the corner.
Alabama can get a first down at the 5-yard line. 7 from the 12. Mac Jones has a look to the sideline, has a word with Najee Harris, and then no gain this time. Nice job by the LSU defense to bring him down. Baskerville was there, so was Damone Clark, and it's third down at 7. At least they got him to third down a couple times on this drive that again is carried farther than 7. Steve Sarkisian, just about everything he dials up over there with that pen.
And what do you do if you're bring the house and try to get it out of Mac Jones's hands quicker than he wants to?
In there basically is a wide receiver again to the bottom of your screen. Jones throws incomplete, intended for Harris, and it'll be fourth down.
Did a good job that time. I think Najee Harris was trying to get inside. They gave the illusion that they were going to run the wheel route. Watch when he tries to cut inside. It's to go back outside. There's really no room to make the throw.
Alabama doesn't kick a lot of field goals because they so many touchdowns, but this guy hasn't missed yet this year. Will record 8 for 8 on the year. He'll try 30-yard attempts to add Alabama lead, and he's got it. Will Reichard tacks 3 more on for Alabama, 38-14.
This year we decided to host for the holidays.
It was a tight squeeze. Turns out to cook a whole dinner, you need a whole kitchen. Then we found out Rocket Mortgage looking at loan options for our next kitchen was easy.
I'm just spending more of that.
Her family really enjoyed it.
When you're ready for a home that's fit for the holidays and your budget, Rocket can.
Coming up in about 3 minutes and 20 seconds, the Geico halftime report. Adam and the guys will be along with highlights, first half analysis, games that went on before us or that are still going. So a 78-yard drive that time and 11 plays for Alabama. But they did have to settle for just 3 that time after being perfect drives every other possession they had so far in this half. Best UEFA Champions League coverage starts your match days at 2 Eastern with Champions League Today, followed by Nico Cantor and the Galazzo Show at 3 on CBS Network and CBS All Access. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Jamie Erdahl, Gene Steratore. As you look in on Tiger Stadium, Death Valley, and Baton 20 remaining in the half. LSU has one timeout yet to work with as their offense starts at the 25 again. Davis for about 5.
So think of your LSU. You lose 10 starters on offense. Trophy quarterback, one of the great running backs we've seen, 3 NFL receivers. You go with a true freshman, you lose your starting quarterback, and you put up 225 yards on Alabama in the first half. But the other team's got over 400 yards on you.
Second down and 5. Finley steps up and lays it out long. Broken up. Incomplete. Nice job defensively by Helms back there. Gary was talking about this earlier. We had Joe Burrow thrown to Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Terrace Marshall, Thaddeus Moss, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Take a look at the replay, and he might have gotten away with a right hand on the jersey there. But when you consider what LSU was playing with compared to last year, we put this together. A total yards, all by Davis Price offensively, and 19 tackles on defense led by Jacoby Stevens. That's what they have that they're playing with tonight compared to last year. 3rd and 5. Look out, TJ. Throws complete. Oh, he's out of bounds. Intended for Gilbert. Just couldn't get his foot down on the sideline.
So ago, Coach Ogeron really got on TJ Finley. And what he wanted, that pressure, go up in the pocket. Don't move back. He said a little tough. But it seems to me that it's worked so far. TJ, listen to the coach, doing it what you should do, moving up in the pocket.
They would have loved to at least gotten a couple of first downs to use some more clock. Von Rosenberg set to punt on 4th and 5, and there's still 2.5 minutes left. Again, Devontae Smith just wants to clear everybody out. It's down to around the 40, I think is where they're going to put it. So it's not that long a field again for this Alabama offense, and they've got left.
Last week, a little tough love from the coach. Gets hit, ball up for a pick 6. Comes to the sideline, and coach, you got to take care of that football. That thing's pressure. I want to play you. Got to get better. And when you get that pressure, move up in the pocket, and I think it worked. He's had a good night tonight.
Yep, so far. Let's see what Alabama does now. Plenty of time to work, and all of their timeouts remaining. Najee got through the first wave and picked up almost 9.
You get a pulling this time from this offensive line. Also, Miller Forrestal, number 87, comes in from the wide formation. It's in for the block. Good job by number 87.
This is an ongoing college record of 35 points or more, and now 22 straight games. And we're, by the way, not till halftime. Najee Harris into the secondary, down to the 35-yard line. Damone Clark and Stingley brought him down, but Najee rumbling towards 100. He's over 100 yards already with 119.
So think about this. We call it sometimes the big 3, 100 yards in the first half, 300 yards passing in the first half, and your receiver 200 yards receiving. 100, 200, and 300.
That's a big 3.
You got it.
Timeout, 1:32 till halftime.
We love the new apartment.
The natural light is amazing.
Hardwood floors.
There is a bit of a clogging problem.
At least Geico makes it easy to bundle our renters and car insurance.
Yeah, helping us save even more.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
Dolly Parton Christmas is coming up tomorrow. Gather the family around for a little holiday cheer, as only Dolly can deliver. Mac Jones, a little bit of pressure this time. Across the middle to Mechie, and a first down at the 20.
Well, the veteran, hard to believe, veteran in his second year playing. Remember last year, he from the pocket, find your next guy. He wanted to go to the left side to Smith. Stingley had him covered. Come to your next guy. That's one thing about Mac Jones. He is a quick decision maker in the pocket.
Yeah, he is.
He and Kyle Trask are really good at that.
Kyle Trask was really good in game one. Better today. Mac Jones is not disappointing here in the nightcap. Looking for more. Wow, the next guy, more Forrestall. Had he been able to put that on him, he probably would have gotten to the end zone.
Yeah. I think Miller's going to come back to the quarterback. Everybody in stride for a touchdown.
But not me.
But not me. I'm 6. I'm just saying. Okay, I had a touchdown right there.
I missed a couple games. Shoulder and a bad ankle, and here I am wide open, and you missed me. Steve Sarkisian calls Forrestall the way he blocks and the way he is as a receiver. Jones fires incomplete, intended for Najee Harris. That was pretty good coverage back there. 3 guys around number 22, and it's 3rd down and 10. There's the big 3 that Gary was talking about. That's pretty big.
Yep.
They took 1 yard away from Dante, the official scores, but he'll be over 200 sometime in this game.
Got a roundup.
Yeah. Yeah. That was one of those .5s.
Yes.
3rd down and 10 at the 20. Jones goes to the end zone. Catch. Devontae Smith. Touchdown, Alabama.
Holy. This is jaw-dropping.
Yeah, you don't even know what to say sometimes.
Good coverage. Great coverage.
No.
One-handed to 2. Unbelievable.
Well, he got his 200 back in fashion, didn't he? What a catch. We've seen basically 3 years, but
holy
they just get better. Another touchdown pass. Another one for number 6, his 3rd of the night.
You know, that works at any level. I mean, covered that much in any, you can go to NFL and be covered that closely. A ball like that, it's spectacular catches, and just add this one to a spectacular career.
There was one that won a championship for him, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Other ones we've seen over the years.
And add this one to the.
Yeah, just put it on the and then send the Bolitnikoff Award to him right now, will you? Somebody just.
That ball was thrown. I thought it was out of the end zone.
I did too. I thought it was going into the first row of the seats. Oh boy, that's something special to watch.
I'll tell you, you know, I've watched him and watched him and watched him. And the only comparison I have to any player I've ever seen is Lynn Swann.
Yeah, too. We made that comparison a year ago.
I just think
on some of these.
He's acrobatic. He's effortless runner.
Swanee's probably watching too. Swanee, that's a compliment to you and to Devontae, by the way.
Yes, one of the greatest players that ever played in the NFL.
Here's a one-hopper taken and put down at the 23-yard line. Josh Williams. Well, he's from Amite, Alabama, about 60 miles from here. One that got out of here and went to Tuscaloosa. Louisiana native. He likes the food around here. He likes all of that, and he's back near home, and he is having himself a time.
Yeah, one of 6 contributing players from the state of Louisiana for this Alabama football team.
Yeah, we mentioned Christian Harris, Dylan Moses earlier. But wow, what a special guy to watch. Well, he had 5 touchdown catches, right, in one of our games last year. Now he's got 3.
Big quarterback again having trouble with that short pass to the running back. Tried to take something off of it, was not accurate enough for Emory. Had him.
So Mac Jones a touchdown first half. Devontae Smith a 3-touchdown, 219 first half. With 39 seconds to go in the half. Keep it on the ground. Emory, who had a long touchdown run early. Good run here again before Alabama can swarm him under. Timeouts. Trying to line up in a hurry here to see if they can give him something in the last 20 seconds. Third down, a long yard. And in and out of the hands of the intended.
And now they're going to have to punt.
Yeah, Keishawn Boutte couldn't hold that. It's 4th and 1 with 12 seconds left. Devontae Smith says, I'm going back in punt return formation. Yeah. Von Rosenberg, just kick it to me, will you? Off in the first half. Rosenberg, the oldest player in college football at age 30. 6 years in the minors as a pitcher. It's it. Devontae Smith can only fair catch it around the 30-yard line with 1 play left before halftime.
Put him out there, but they didn't let him run with it,
no.
Did they? Go out there and catch it and give it a fair catch.
What a special first half again. Alabama 7 possessions this half, 6 touchdowns, 4 touchdown passes by Mac Jones, 2 touchdown runs by, and then you chip in a field goal by Reichard from 30 yards, and that's where they'll go to the locker room. 45-14 lead.
470 yards in a half against LSU.
Wow. That's the end of the first half. 14. Jamie's first half interview. You can go to Twitter at CBS and the Home Depot SEC on CBS. Brings us to third quarter action. Kickoff coming up between top-ranked Alabama and the Tigers of LSU. And Alabama with a 45-14 lead. Good news to get the football first to start the third quarter.
Did I ever tell you there was a story these teams had a 9-6 game?
I know you did. I watched you do that one.
It's hard to believe, isn't it?
45 points away in 84 previous meetings is the most Alabama has ever against LSU. 47 is the most they've ever scored in there. Do that sometime in this quarter. Keishawn Boutte with the return. We welcome you back to the booth. Gary, you know, there comes a point sometimes we just have to go, wow, these guys are a machine, and it's kind of fun to watch. But who shuts the machine off? Is there anybody who can do it?
I don't know, but the only thing I think of is first you got to bring a big-time veteran quarterback, and number 2, you better have a pass rush.
Yeah. You've
got to be able to put some pressure on Mac Jones and then take your chances, and it's still going to probably be a 35-point game if you have any chance to be in the football game.
You know, with 45 points, they've already scored 35 or more 22 straight times, which is a record, an ongoing record of their own. And third member of our team, Jamie Erdahl.
Well, the good news first from Ed Ogeron. He's been pleased with TJ Finley and his confidence stature in the first half. The strange news for me was when Derek Stingley came out of the locker room, he went to approach coach as if to have a conversation off camera. He seemed upset. I asked coach if he was okay. He said Stingley fine. But keep in mind, Stingley and Devontae together nearby, and a member of the LSU coaching staff told me this is a really hard matchup for to have to swallow and cover Devontae Smith as often as he is.
Yeah, and we've been wondering why he isn't on him more.
Right, 2 big plays, he wasn't on him. That time, the corner blitz, the blitz package again. LSU problems, that time it was Josh Jobe, number 28, coming from the edge.
So it is an immediate 3rd and long for the LSU offense as we open the third quarter. 0 for 3 since a 2 for 4 start. The 3rd down conversion. Finley, heavy pressure again, steps up, rolls to throw, and incomplete. It was intended for Jenkins, and it's 3 and out.
That's that look, that 3 down linemen, 3 different, like a defensive back and 2 linebackers up there. They put 3 to one side, 3 to the other. You don't know which 4 are coming, or 5 or 6, and sometimes all of them and bring a safety. So it's a really, really good package. Everybody a little bit, but LSU is struggling blocking.
They are. Dan Rosenberg to kick. Is back this time for the Tide. He backpedals.
Yeah, I like that changeup, by the way, right there. Get Devontae Smith. You don't want to get him hurt, on a punt right now in this football game. We even wonder how much more. I'm sure he will play.
Yeah.
But how much more will you feature him in this football game?
He says at least 2 more series. Yes, fingers up.
Exactly.
Take a look at the Dr. Pepper SEC state. If you missed it earlier, Florida's already punched their ticket to Atlanta. Alabama is halfway to punching theirs, and we'll have quite a battle December 19th at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Just to continue to marvel at this Alabama offense, remember they had 4 first-round picks off their offense in the NFL draft last year.
Here's a toss sweep to Najee Harris, who already has a 100-yard night, and he's got 9 more out to the 34 as you take a look at the first. Trending upward, Mac Jones with 4 touchdown passes.
Yes.
Went 12 for 12 to start. Devontae, his 4th career game, over 200 receiving. And TJ Finley didn't play badly, as Jamie said when she talked to the coach, but they're in a big hole now, and now they face the Alabama offense again with their opening march of the 3rd quarter. Najee Harris has got a first down. So Harris on the night with 130 yards on 18 carries. Touchdowns number 18 and 19 on the ground. That continues to lead college football. One of the weapons they've got at every position. Jones pulls it away from him, rolls to throw on the run, and it's going to be out of bounds. Devontae Smith. And we get a Jeep update in New York. Here's Adam Zucker.
Hey, it was 1-7-3 Virginia Tech, but Clemson just 1 score after the next, getting closer to clinching a spot in the ACC title game. Trevor Lawrence to Cornell Powell. First touchdown pass of the game for Lawrence. He also has 2 on the ground. It's 38-10 as they play in the 4th quarter. Back to you.
Clemson and Notre Dame will be playing in the ACC championship game, barring some strange turnaround there.
And both of those teams have that little bit of a formula right there. A veteran quarterback with good defensive lines. Clemson.
Ian Book, who's had a sensational year, doesn't put the numbers up that Wood or Mac Jones in this case, but he's a winner. We got a chain problem. We had one of those last week. We almost broke one in half. And this one's going to take one of the offensive linemen for Alabama to. Every time, they don't lose often. Every time Alabama loses a game, the revenge of the Tide, they come back and find a way to take care of that business. And who knows, maybe Clemson will end up with Alabama at some point. The college football playoff still have a long ways to go. I think you can think about getting revenge for last year's 46-41 Tiger win that didn't go over so well in Tuscaloosa, with the celebrations and Joe Burrow getting carried off the field and all of that. Here's a little toss to Billingsley. Got tripped up.
Almost. Great tackle that time.
Yep. Baskersville, who's coming off a 12 tackle performance, and he does a shoestring job here on Billingsley.
Does. Number 23. If he doesn't get him, Billingsley for about 25 yards.
Sure. Third down and 7. Let's see if LSU can get out the field. 3 receivers to the right for Mac Jones. Now everybody looks to the sideline. All heads turn at the exact same time. They even do that efficiently. Jones going to go deep. Double coverage out there, and almost caught anyway by Mechie. Had his hands on it but couldn't hold it.
He did. It was a perfect throw. Great coverage by this LSU team that time. It had to be perfect. It was perfect. Split defenders, put it right in the hands, and Mechie can't come up with it. How about that throw, though?
Perfect, really.
Yes, it was.
So punting situation. Charlie Scott doesn't get a lot of work for Alabama. Set to punt. And it's going to bounce and hit an Alabama player. So it'll be down right there with 11:28 remaining. Some of the great moments, coaches. COVID, you'll be surprised at what 60 Minutes found out. That's tomorrow on CBS following our NFL doubleheader.
So LSU offense, 3 straight 3-and-outs. So what do you do? You know, he's doing a job, but now it's starting to sink. It's starting to go the other direction. I think maybe a little running game might help him a little bit. Can they try to run the ball here?
Got Davis Price in there. Emory did a nice job down for him in the first half. One of their best runs really of the year. Davis Price out to the 31. More. Now last year it was Clyde Edwards-Helaire that did most of the damage on the ground and became a great back, and now an NFL player. And they don't have that kind of dynamic person in the backfield that he brought to the table. Finley pulled that one down, and now he's going down. Will Anderson will drop him with Byron Young.
I'll tell you that the 2 linebackers took away the throws. Then when there was nobody to go to, that Alabama pass rush pressures the pocket and forces Finley to try to move up in the pocket. Nothing there. Inside, and Bryce Young was standing right in front of him.
Will Anderson came in with more quarterback hurt than anybody else in the SEC, and you and I were talking about him before the game. I said he doesn't really have a lot of sack stats, but he just always be buzzing around.
He does. He pressures the pocket, but Brian Young they just got one right after another.
He's got 2 sacks tonight.
Yep.
And they're coming after him again. Throws on the run and in front of the LSU bench. And a pass intended for Butte. So 4th down again.
And outs, and those add up, don't they?
Yeah.
Their defense is over there. They basically sat down and picking up like time to go back in.
Haven't even unsnapped their chin straps yet, and they're going back in after Von Rosenberg's punt. Slade Bolden waits on the other end for it. Clears everybody out of the way. Really haven't had to return anything or really fair catch much because it hasn't been number 38's punting night. As he knocks that one out of bounds 5 minutes into the 3rd quarter. Alabama, big lead, 25-14 here in the 3rd. Alabama offense has been running in high gear. Our aerial coverage tonight, Valley, presented by Goodyear. In Death Valley and Tiger Stadium. Alabama, 1st down from the 41. Mac Jones getting a little heat down the middle, competes it to Devontae Smith. And another down and a pickup of 12 or 13 more.
So this is how a veteran handles the pocket. Feel a little, just kind of shuffle around, but don't lose your downfield perspective. Find your 3rd or 4th receiver. And it's nice to have your 3rd receiver be number 6,
yeah,
right?
No kidding.
To the left, not there. Wheel route wasn't there to Najee. Come back to Devontae Smith.
And now Najee Harris sets up behind Mac Jones, who's 17 of 23 on the night. And it is Najee Harris. Up the right. Picks up about 4. Time now to test your knowledge with tonight's Aflac trivia question, which is: name the only 2 defending national champions in the Associated Press poll era to finish their next season with a losing record. Right now, the defending champions at 4, and that's back to 1936. That question goes. So
remember, next will be, we'll see if it's as good as this one, but it's a good offense.
Jones, look at the time he's got. And now running out of it finally, throws across his body for Najee Harris, and he made the catch.
Called it a catch, right? That's your running back down there scooping it up like a wide receiver.
Against your All-American corner. Stingley was the guy that was right there with him.
Looking around, throws across his body, but he's got something when he sees. Can he get his hands underneath it? I don't know. Close, isn't it?
If he didn't, he did a great job acting.
Yep.
This play is under further review.
So they're going to take a look at this one. 24 catches on the year and 61 in his career at Alabama.
I always like to see the hands on that ball first. Those gloves. Can't really tell from there. It looked like the ball went through his gloves and got into his body.
Gene Steratore is with us, our rules official. Oh, that one's close, Gene.
That's close.
It is close, guys. And when Harris come together, I think if you keep watching, you'll see the football behind those hands. And if it's hit the ground at that time, I would go incomplete on this play.
If the gloves don't grab, if it isn't clear that the gloves are under the ball and with the ball, the assumption sometimes is that the ground helped the catch. Be interesting.
If it's incomplete, it's going to bring up 3rd down and 6. Again, Alex Moore having a look. Najee's going, I don't care if it's 3rd down and 6 or not, just throw it to me again.
Right.
It was called complete on the field. Nick Saban's return to the sideline has been a success so far tonight, 45-14. After the coach missed last week's game, had to watch from home. It's pretty funny how he was telling us things were going back home with Miss Terry on one floor and he on another. Said there was yelling from 2 different directions.
Right, because as we watch the
ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd down at the 43. Please reset the game clock to 8 minutes and 34 seconds. Thank you.
The other thing he said, which bad news for everybody in the SEC, is like, being away from it says, it kind of really appreciates knowing what I got there as a coach. So it could be many more years that Coach Saban's going to be on the sideline.
Right. Said to us, I wasn't planning on not coaching for a long time anyway, but I did miss it.
Yep.
So 3rd down and 6. Comes all the way across the field in motion. Jones down the middle, complete to Forrester. It's Bolden. Bolden lost the ball. And Stingley picks it up on one hop. Had it stripped out, and LSU's got it back.
Slade Bolden did everything right that they called the play for him. He's another one of those Louisiana kids that went to Alabama. He runs, breaks inside, catch. Now he turns upfield, and then just knocked away by Jay Ward. Good job by Ward, staying with the play, popping that ball loose.
Well, they finally get Alabama's offense off the field with a fumble recovery. We come back.
This is big. This year.
Davis Price kicks his shoulders forward for about a 2-yard gain as we approach the midway portion of the 3rd quarter. LSU trying to go with a little tempo. John Emery comes back as Davis Price finally makes it to the sideline. Emery back in at tailback. Gilbert's been quiet since early in the game when he had a couple of catches. This throw to Emery, and just a little bit short of the 1st down. Moses made the stop. That time he did take a little off that one.
I was just going to say it. I was just pausing to say like that time he just kind of flicked it to him, didn't fire it at him.
And quarterback sneak will get LSU the 1st down. Trying to rip the ball out of there, but big quarterback, number 11.
Yep. Just wonder, how much longer this Alabama team, you never like to pull your starter and have to put him back in. So how much longer do you keep him in? Remember, this is a compressed season. No off week before the SEC championship. Not as much time between the SEC championship and the first playoff game. Everything is pressed, and you want to keep your starters, especially your important players, as fresh as possible.
Finley loads and goes on a crossing route again, and there is Gilbert. Did he have it taken away from him? Looked like he had it and then had it ripped out by the Alabama defender. And I think that's Christopher Allen who was covering him. And the officials haven't given us a call on it yet.
Allen on the tackle, another one of those Louisiana players. Well, he does seem like he has the football there, doesn't he?
Yeah.
The three linebackers, Allen plays a little bit defensive end, hybrid linebacker. Allen, Harris, and Dylan Moses, all from Louisiana. You could make the argument he had that ball.
The previous play is under further review.
We better share those tonight.
Yes. That was a really heads-up play. Great hit. And as he hits, he feels the ball right in front of his face. Puts it out. Does he have it enough?
Gene Steratore is with us too. I guess you have to think about whether or not Gilbert was down, but I don't think his knee ever hit the ground.
Could it be forward progress? Could that be the call as he rips the ball out? Did it ever
well,
really?
A couple things on this one, guys. First, we don't know what the rule. I didn't hear the referee announce what the ruling on the field was to clear this up to initially start. I'm assuming that they rule that there was a catch at first, and now they're reviewing to see if he's down by contact, if there was a fumble or something like that. They can't review progress, so we should take progress out of this thought process right now because that's not reviewable. I think the other thing we look at, which I think we can clear up rather quickly, is it doesn't appear to be a simultaneous catch. Gilbert possesses the football, is turning upfield with his own possession, and then when he gets hit, I think the ball gets knocked loose from a runner then, and now you have a round, and it appears to me that Alabama recovers that or takes that ball away. Allen takes the ball away, lands on the ground.
And Gene, if you think you're the only one that didn't get a call from the guys on the field, we didn't either. So I'm just telling you, you didn't.
Well, I will say I love the way how organized Gene was.
Yes.
Right there, just 1, 2, 3, 4. That was
a laundry list right there.
That's right.
Now the ruling on the field was an LSU catch, and now we're going to hear the final tally.
After review, the ruling is a fumble recovered by the defense. The ball will be placed at the 34-yard line or will be first down. Please reset the game clock. 6 minutes and 58 seconds.
It's a big-time play by Christopher Allen right there, no doubt about it. Great hit.
First, a great wrap-up just to start things, and then the rip-out. And, Gene, you called it.
Yeah, I think the other little nugget, too, is when that official standing next to the referee in the replay starts writing things down on a little note card, that usually means they're changing something from what's out on the field. So that might be a little nugget for us as we move forward, guys.
So back comes the Alabama offense with a first down. At the 34, Jones, quick throw, got it complete. And that's Mechie. And let's check in with Jamie for a second.
Hey, don't challenge Devontae Smith to something unless you want him to take care of business. Jerry Jeudy, about a half an hour ago, tweeted that he told Smitty he needed 300 receiving yards, and Smitty said, I got you, man. Didn't have to necessarily tell him it was going to be in the first half, but yeah, he took care of business for him tonight. Of course, Jeudy with the Denver Broncos now, but still watching Alabama in prime time.
And Devontae with 2:31. And that's Brian Robinson. Broke one tackle, cuts it upfield. And a first down.
Allegay had a shot at him, but Robinson ran right through the tackle. Right side of the screen, watch number 11. Beats his block, but can't quite come up with the tackle.
And Robinson, starting for about 80% of the teams in the country, if not more, comes in to give Najee Harris a breather, and when he does, he usually does good things. And tonight, Robinson, 4 carries, 20 yards, got it to the 21 and a first down. And this time going to lose a yard or two. Ali Gay that time didn't let him. Number 11 made the tackle. A little bit earlier we asked you the Aflac trivia question. Aflac. Which was two defending national champions in the AP poll area that finished their next season with a losing record. TCU and Ohio State in 39 and 43.
Been a while.
Yeah. I wouldn't have known that one.
Right.
I mentioned coming into this game, LSU as a defending champ, the biggest underdog in a game of a defending national champion in 4 decades. Brian Robinson just tripped up where he might have gotten even more out of that. I think the last team that was that big an underdog in a game was the 91 Georgia Tech team. So almost 40 years. 3rd down and 6.
Well, it's been obviously a tough night for this LSU team, especially after last year. But Coach O was saying, I've got another great recruiting class coming in. It'll be his 3rd class in a row in the top 5. Next year will be really important for this program. You know, 1 year, okay, it's one of those things. But 2 years in a row, people start to look and go, what's going on?
Yeah, we won a national championship. We'll give you a one-off on 2020, but now what? Devontae Smith in motion on 3rd down and 6. Jones is going to throw it out in the flat. And it's Robinson. Had the 1st down, I think. With his forward progress, Jabril Cox knocked him back about 5 yards. But Mac Jones is saying, hey, wait a minute. He got to where he needed to get.
And more importantly, the clock keeps going. This is what Alabama wants to do. They're giving the ball to a lot of other people right now. Moving the ball slowly, a little bit of run, short passes. Very patient right now. Let's see if they try to put one more on the board here now.
Back 22, they put up 47. They've got 45, and they do have a 1st down at the 11-yard line. Najee Harris blasts off the left side and cruises to an Alabama touchdown. His 3rd of the night. Boy, nobody touched him.
They went left again behind Wood and Brown.
And Forrestal got a nice block on Jacoby Stevens.
And one thing Alabama is saying, we don't want to get anybody thrown out right now because that means the 1st half of next week's game.
There's Najee Harris, and that, you can drive a truck through that thing.
Yeah, Leatherwood threw Andre Anthony, number 3, out of the picture, and you're right. Forrestal at the end did it, but that side not even come close to making that a tough run.
AT&T 5G pylon cam, as you saw, number 22 just cruise control for Najee for his 3rd touchdown of the night. His 20th on the ground this season. As Reichard's in for the point after. Up and good. So the most points ever by an Alabama team against an LSU team. And that one was almost too easy. 34 yards, 6 plays. Najee Harris, his. Let's take a look at our GMC game changers, Mr. Danielson.
Yeah, we talked about in the open that they've got a lot of different ways. We talk about the big 3, but it's the offensive line. Yes, they're a big 5. That defensive line, they rotate a lot of guys. Barmore made the play on that one. And then the corners. Patrick Surtain had his opportunity. And then Josh Jobe from the other side says, yeah, I get an opportunity on the blitz. They've got stars in all different spots.
And then those guys.
And then the real stars.
The offensive stars all shining again tonight.
It's like the band and then the real guys. You know, it's usually a quarterback that wins the Heisman, and it's probably this year again. But if it was a player, a non-quarterback, Devontae Smith would be the leader, right? Yeah. I don't think there's any doubt.
And a new quarterback, speaking of, as we expected to see 2 quarterbacks tonight. Here comes Max Johnson, the other freshman quarterback.
We'll say this, remember for both of them, TJ Finley and Max Johnson, you know, the way things go in college football now, remember this year doesn't count on their eligibility. They both get to play, doesn't matter how many games. They're both got great potential. They're both are going to play college football. Don't know where they both will play, but I think they both have really bright futures.
Johnson's going to take off on the run. Considered the better of the two quarterbacks as far as using his legs. But he had a good game. Pretty good game last week against Texas A&M. 14 out of 22. Threw a touchdown pass. Picked up 4 there. 2nd and 6. And throws on the run. Only about a 2-yard gain to Gilbert. Good job by Jordan Battle staying with him. It'll bring up 3rd down. The 3-minute mark of the 3rd.
When we talk about that Alabama secondary, they started off a little rough at the beginning of the year. Remember that Ole Miss game when they had trouble corralling that Ole Miss offense? They lost 4 of their 5 key players from that secondary. Only Sertan was back this year, and they've now filled admirably. Much better now watching them than at the beginning of the year.
There's a 1st down throw to Trey Palmer.
In his face, Max Johnson does a good job of getting this ball. Rusher coming right at him. Delivers it right on stride, and that's when Palmer can turn up one of the faster receivers for LSU.
Malachi Moore knocked him out of bounds. One of the newcomers in the Alabama secondary and seemingly getting better week in, week out. He leads the Tide with 3 interceptions. Had one in the game we did last week. But as Gary said, Sertan was the only guy coming back that had a lot of experience and was a starter. That's 1st down throw to Trey Bradford. TJ Finley, whether his day is done or not, he's over there on the sideline, and that's what he's done so far.
It's not easy being a true freshman quarterback. Remember, these guys were in high school watching this game a year ago, right?
Going, I want to play there.
Yep.
And then they get in there, they go, oh, wait a minute, I didn't know we had to play Alabama.
A little early.
And that throw again, short gain to Palmer. Max Johnson, Brad's son. Hometown Athens. Of course, Mark Richt is his uncle, was recruited by Miami. Your uncle's got to recruit you. Woo! Big hit. Put on.
So DeMarco Helms that time. Number 29, he's playing for Daniel Wright, and he delivers.
And you're right, he was ejected for targeting earlier, and that was a nice hit.
Talking to the Alabama staff about him, they said, you know, we gave Daniel a challenge. He had to hold on to the position. Daniel Wright early in the season when he was struggling, DeMarco Helms was pushing him, and actually Daniel Wright answered the call, really improved his play and kept his job.
Jamie's got more.
Earlier today, we found out that the power went out at Alabama's hotel. It was right in the middle of a team meal and a couple of meetings, but I was catching up with John Mechie before the game, who rooms with Helms on the road. Mechie was in the shower. He hollered out to Helms when the power went out, who was ironing his shirt, so Helms unfortunately had to arrive the game with a bit of a wrinkled shirt. Mechie's shirt was already ironed, but DeMarco Helms had to take the hit there and have a wrinkled shirt.
We know about power outages here in the game because Jamie had to do play-by-play analysis and everything else.
Your shirts were probably a little wrinkled after that one, too.
Yeah, I think so. And we understand that this entire level, when we lost power, if you missed it earlier in the game, everybody did this. We're all dark. And
well, it was kind of interesting just behind the scenes. Brad didn't know if his microphone was working. So while Jamie was calling the play of what was happening, Brad was actually doing play-by-play up here because he didn't know for sure whether his mic was working out as the game was going on. It was pretty interesting to listen to it all take place.
Little did we know that Jamie was doing a better job of it than I was. Winding down the 3rd quarter, Johnson hit his guy in the hands, but Jenkins couldn't hold it.
Yep, ball was slightly behind him. Malachi Moore continued to not give up on the play, and as you said, almost was able to get that one. Ball's behind. He thought he had a pick, then he was able to deflect it. The second was coming right at him.
So we're going to try a field goal attempt here for LSU. Cade York will come in. His career long is 53. And this is going to be right about at 52. He had a 45-yarder and 4 extra points in last year's game from 52 yards out. Got it.
Nice.
Cade York hanging in there. Tacks 3 on from 52 yards away. Problem is LSU needs a whole bunch more scoring in the fourth quarter. They're on your trail. FBI Most Wanted Tuesday at 10, 9 Central on CBS. So a 41-yard drive in 10 plays with Max Johnson at the controls. Ends in a 52-yard Cade York field goal. And we're at 52-17.
You know, why do they go for a field goal? Because I think right now for LSU, they're just trying to play good football. They're not thinking about, you know, coming back, scoring. They're just saying, let's just play good football. Let's improve and try to win our game next week.
Preston Stafford teeing it up. Alabama's playing for an onside kick. With Slade Bolden, the only guy back deep around the 20-yard line. Got some good players up there, including Najee Harris, the Good Hands team.
Yeah, Devontae Smith at the bottom down here.
Well, there it is, and a one-hopper. Devontae Smith had it pop out of his hands, but I think Alabama got it anyway. Surtain or Harris.
That had some juice on it, didn't it?
Devontae says, it's the only thing I didn't catch tonight.
Man.
Torrey Carter's in the mix there, too, as they unpile all the bodies.
This thing came like a bullet. Boom! Right at the end. Just take that bad hop.
That one surprised Devontae.
Yeah, it was low. It was low.
That didn't have any spiral on it.
I think, yes, exactly. Derek Jeter would have had a problem with that one. That ball's hugging the ground. All of a sudden, it's up in his face.
So Alabama gets it. And Mac Jones and the starters still out there at the 40-yard line. Big shift. Robinson comes back into the backfield.
Alabama has their third tackle in the game.
2 tight ends. And Mac Jones to throw. Waits. Scrambles. Throws. Knocked down. Nice job defensively by Eli Ricks. There's Mac Jones' passing chart.
A lot of green.
Not a lot of incompletions in there.
Exactly. I pretty much know. What's really cool about it is how good he is deep with the football.
He really throws a long ball
does.
nice.
Yep.
Fourth game of 50-plus by Alabama.
You know what's really, really cool? That offensive line gives them time to throw the ball really deep, too.
No doubt. Alabama came in averaging 48.5 points a game, and that is above the record pace they had last year. So if they keep this up, well, they've already got 52. This would be the highest scoring team and the most potent offense that Alabama's had, and it's kind of hard to look at and say when it was Tua and company last year until he got hurt, and then this guy came in, and now it's his team with a big lead. End of 3, all Alabama. A 52-17 Alabama lead for the top-ranked team in the country, and they start the quarter with a 3rd down and long 6 in LSU territory.
Still the starters. They're going to finish off this drive, I think, before we see Bryce Young and some of the backups.
And they keep it on the ground. Brian Robinson, he's got the 1st down and more as he continues to run hard. Here in the 4th quarter, welcome you back to the booth. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson. You know, this team is on a roll right now, and you wonder if there's anybody that can stop them, but I don't know.
I think Alabama will have to help the other team stop them the way they move the ball. You know, talking about Devontae getting those 300 yards, that last touchdown was 20 yards. But degree of difficulty, it's like Scrabble. You multiply by 3,
right.
That should count 60 yards.
He made one of those ridiculous
catches. So that
catches.
puts him really close to the 300 yards.
So Alabama is going to roll into Atlanta, and Gary said one play, and that's about it, because now Bryce Young is in at quarterback. And Brian Robinson still running it in for Najee Harris and takes it almost down to the 20-yard line. Very close to a 1st down. So Mac Jones' night is done. 20 out of 28, 385 yards and 4 touchdowns, which gives him 27 on the season. About as efficient as you can be.
He's got a great personality. All the interviews after the game, he says the right things. You know, I'm just looking for to win the championship. Does all the right things in the pocket. Very emotional football player.
Robinson a little dancing around, but he does get the first down as Alabama's right back in the red zone. Now, coming into this year, Alabama didn't need to make a statement to the College Football Selection Committee, but they're making one anyway.
I think it helps them, though, if the worst case scenario happens. Let's suppose they go into that championship game undefeated and Florida upsets them. I think they're in. They win the way they're winning now. They beat Arkansas. I think they're going into that game, win or lose, they're in the playoffs.
Low snap. Handled well, though, and Robinson blasts his way for a first down. Inside the 10, around the 7.
One thing, you put in the backup quarterback, but you keep in that starting offensive line. Those 5 guys are there, and job. That time, Landon Dickerson reaches from that center position and seals off that tackle, and that's what made that play go.
And there you see Robinson in for Najee Harris with 62 yards on 11 carries already. Alabama's going to come into that jumbo set again. Kendall Randolph, Josh McMillan and company. Bryce Young takes a look at the play call on his wristband.
Take a timeout. The wristband, a little too slow to read that thing.
Mac Jones even helping from the sideline for his young quarterback. We take a look at our game recap. 52-17 at this point. How did we get there, you ask? Well, first of all, Najee does know touchdowns. 3 more tonight for Najee Harris on 145 yards, 21 carries, 3 scores, gives him 20 for the season. Devontae Smith dominating as he always seems to do. 8 catches, 231 and 3 scoring strikes from Mac Jones, and including this ridiculous catch in the back of the end zone right before halftime. And then you add that to the quarterback, Mac Jones, 20 of 28, 385 and 4. And the last 2 games against LSU, that's a whole career for some guys. Forrestall in motion, and we got some motion on the front for Alabama's Deontay Brown, I think, fell out of his stance, number 65.
False start, offense, number 65. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
You can almost see Deontay Brown talking to Bryce Young, go, that's not the way Mac does that. It's like he does a different snap count, and I just couldn't hold the water right now.
No, I couldn't hold it. It's hard for that big a body to slow down, and he couldn't, so they back it up to the 12-yard line, first and goal. And the inside give down to the 9 is Jace McClellan. Mac Jones going in. I think we would have probably had it in the end zone already, but I'm not sure.
Just one more thing about Mac Jones, accepting the challenge to come to Alabama. Remember, when he came, Jalen Hurts was the SEC Offensive Player of the Year at quarterback. Yeah. They had just recruited Tua to play quarterback, a 5-star, and then they've got a lot of acting going on right there, huh?
That was Dickerson again.
He's nuts.
He's crazy.
Yep.
Play action, Young trying to throw, and they'll dump him, and it's Ali Gay with a sack. So Alabama going the wrong direction right now in their goal-to-go situation.
Does it? Nothing there. Gay's right in his face. Nobody to throw to, and he has to eat it. Kind of like this. They just get him in there, leave him in with the first string offensive line, get him some reps. What happened if there's a disaster and Mac Jones goes down? You got to have this guy with some reps throwing the ball, doing something with this first team offense.
So now 3rd down at goal. Back at the 16. Bryce Young to the end zone, almost intercepted by Stingley. It was intended for Devontae Smith. And it's 4th down.
Protection was great. Ball was a half a second late, and as Ness said, almost the opportunity for 24 to make the play.
And so that'll bring out the field goal unit. And Will Reichard, perfect on the season as both the field goal kicker and in his extra points. This will be from 34 yards out. And he's got it up and good. to make it 55-17. Alabama 10:50 away from a trip to Atlanta. Short drive culminated in a field goal. Coming up a little bit later, play the game presented by Jersey Mike Subs. You can pick several out. You're wearing crimson and white. Chase Allen set to kick away. With 10:50 remaining in the ball game.
I think with LSU's numbers of scholarships players down between 25 and 30, this is a tough finish for them. They don't have that many backups to put in.
Yeah. Well, earlier we were giving Jamie Erdahl a lot of credit because it's her birthday week, and we had a virtual party. There she was in the hotel room the other night. No, actually, that's back a few years. And then, you know, we love it when she's Sweet 16, but when she's twice that old, then she's a mom. And there's Brookie. And there's the whole family, including Sam, whose birthday. Sam's birthday.
Sam. Happy birthday, Sam. Well, I blame my mother and a little bit my husband, but I can't blame him because it's his birthday too.
Jamie's birthday Thursday and her husband Sam's yesterday. And meanwhile, Brooke looked a lot happier in that family photo than she did with Santa today. That was not a good look.
She was not a good look. Well, we teach her stranger danger, so, you know, I guess we got that going for us.
Well, every kid seems to have one of those times where they go crazy with Santa.
It's only good for blackmail later in life, right? You guys tell me that, right?
Yep.
Exactly.
When they get 4, 5, 6, though, you'll have to take them back 2 or 3 times.
The Max Johnson running the show here. Fires on a crossing route. Got it to Carter. And Torrey Carter with a first down. Mac Jones, after his performance today, has 28 touchdowns. Justin Fields, another good performance today in a win. Trevor Lawrence with 26. Kyle Trask has 38 touchdown passes. Ian Book, Heisman contenders. He doesn't have the kind of numbers, but hey, they're undefeated.
Well, first of all, how about that game that Justin Fields played today? I mean, he took that football team into Spartan Stadium, and he was on a mission to win that game.
Yep.
But the other guys are going to get to play each other. You know, and I believe this year in this shortened year with less games, the voters will hold their vote till the last game is played. And the last game will be Florida against Alabama.
I never vote until championship games are over with, and I will wait again.
I don't know why some people do.
I don't either, but
remember Nick Saban, his loss in the SEC championship back to 2008, that was Florida. And Tim Tebow, the only time he's lost in the SEC championship.
Well, Florida wrapped up the East earlier, if you missed it, and their win over Tennessee in our first game of a doubleheader on CBS. Alabama is 9:38 away from wrapping up the West, and the two best teams in the SEC should be a lot of fun December 19th in Atlanta. And it'll be the 10th meeting between those two. Johnson on the carry and got the first down. Go back to that graphic again. Last meeting, Alabama cruised 54-16. That Florida team did not have the kind of offense this Florida team has.
Not even close. Good football team, but it was a defensive football team. Jim McElwain's team came into there, had quarterback problems. They don't have quarterback problems this year.
No, they don't.
And they've got a special, unique player in Kyle Pitts. That's going to be that matchup with that tight end position. When you have a matchup problem at tight end or running back, give you an example. Clyde Edwards-Helaire last year.
Yeah.
That drove defenses crazy. That's what Pitts is doing for Florida against defenses.
Florida doesn't have the kind of ground game, though, that LSU had. And maybe that's going to be their shortcoming. We'll see. LSU takes a timeout. With 8:39, their freshman quarterback will have a word on the sideline with the coaching staff trailing.
Down Alabama.
Quite a night for number 6. Just part of the offensive juggernaut of Alabama with a 55-point outing. And their per-game average will go up a little bit. And a big smile on the face of the Louisiana native.
Why would he not?
From the 29, first down for LSU. Trying to finish off a lopsided game strong. Max Johnson throws. Nobody home. Incomplete. Chris Allen was putting the pressure on him. Time permitting, after our game, we'll have the college football post-game show presented by Rocket Mortgage.
Max Johnson did a good job that time because, as Ness told you, you had two guys, Allen and Will Anderson, both on him, and he gave up ground, did not get sacked, got rid of the ball, and lived to play another game down here.
Which is 2nd and 10 at the 8.5-minute mark.
Especially on first down. Coach gives you a call, pass, you can't take a sack. You got to at least at the worst, incomplete, throw it away, get 2nd and 10.
3 receivers to his left, and the left-hander's in trouble, and was not a good landing as he goes down, and hopefully he's okay. Apparently he is. Good.
As I said, you got to have a lot of numbers for this defensive line because they come from different angles. That time a linebacker, Christian Harris, was one of them. Will Anderson was one of them. I think Brian 47 was one of them. There was 3 different guys in there at the same time.
Will Anderson must have heard us talking about him because he's picked up his sack total tonight, I'll tell you that
Here's
much.
that look again. 3 down linemen, 6-man front, and they bring the free safety.
In a hurry, and a crossing route is complete. And Boutte trying to spin his way for a first down, gets thrown out by Malachi Moore about a yard shy.
So if you show on tape that you're having problems with the 6-man front, then they all bail and you bring the safety this time. This is what LSU's been dealing with, but maybe step too deep before he blitzed.
And Johnson pick up the first down on the sneak. He can, as forward progress got it for him anyway. Yep, now we're getting a little chippy. Some frustration showing.
And again, the leaders of this Alabama team got to protect their players getting thrown out right now. You don't want a mistake, not play the